Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 20 of the podcast that's no longer a teenager. Check us out, yo. My baby all grows up. Proper modulation with your host, Kurimanju. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. And the ping pong and gaming legend who secretly is thrilled to miss 2 sequential E3 conferences in a row, Cheapy.
I was shaking my head no, but then I'm like, am I secretly thrilled to miss 2 E3s in a row?
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, I saved a lot of money, and also it's just going to make the next one that much more special, I feel.
What is there something from the conference that you miss that you were like, wow,
Well,
I
it's
wish
fun.
I saw that?
I mean, it's fun to go to Los Angeles and look at video games that most of the world doesn't get to, play.
Right.
And get to do all that stuff. So that's always fun, but certainly I'm old and spoiled at this point because I've gone to so many. But yeah, I'll be happy to go next year, I'm sure.
Listen, my man, you got to stop telling people about our secret for being old and not looking it. Okay. If you keep saying that you're old, people are going to start saying, oh, I wonder what's off because he doesn't look it. Okay. Balding yourself is the way to reduce. This is better than rejuvenation.
I was going to say it's the zoom filters that make my image look better.
Is that what you're using?
Well, I got that,
I got to
a
get
slider.
the Go XLR. I got to get the zoom filter.
No, you have it. You just have to click the button. It's right. It's built into Zoom. It says improve my appearance.
Listen, maybe it's Juneteenth and I'm just a little bit excited, but I'm not trying to brag. But when I put those filters on, I actually look uglier. So
my nose got smaller. You can't
improve on perfection, baby.
My nose is much bigger than this usually, but it's
wow.
We're down.
These
now.
Lips, they are bigger in real life, but don't worry about it.
I'm not going to think about your lips ever.
You don't want to?
No, thank you.
But dude, seriously, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So about E3, because I think when we first started hanging out, that was one of the things that I tried to not talk about for the longest, so I didn't nerd out on you. Okay, but now,
because you knew that I've gone to many E3s, and
that was the second thing you told me. That was in your elevator speech. So why are you here? Well, my name is Cheapy D, and
I don't think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you asked me what I do for a living and I mentioned I'm in the video game business, I'm certainly not mentioning it. I wouldn't say I go to E3 for my job. It's not part of my job.
My name is Cheapy D.
And I go to E3. Do you know E3? I've been to E3.
Are you familiar?
Right. I live in Japan. I live in Japan.
But do you remember the first time you went? But honestly, I mean, I do joke.
Yes.
In real life, guys, just for the listeners' sake, he does not bring this stuff up at all. I think Mrs. Cheapy brought it up. Actually, I think you were and in your face you look embarrassed and afraid that I was gonna
that's more likely.
And then I had this okay, that's cool. I like podcasts too. And then I nodded. I said, so what else do you do? Little did I know I was across from a video gaming and ping pong legend.
Not ping pong legend. Ping pong laugh. My coach laughed so hard that...
What do you laugh at? He listened to proper mod?
No. He laughs just watching my body move and play ping pong. That's what makes him laugh. And he was crying. He said, I have to stop. I have tears. I have to stop. Because I'm I dive a lot and I'm very awkward looking. And so everything I do, it looks awkward and funny. So... And table tennis is inherently funny to look at, unless you're a super duper player. So you combine all that, and it's very difficult for JP to not just be laughing throughout the whole 2 hours. But that's good. You should enjoy your work.
Now I'm nervous that JP's gonna take over my position of host of proper modulation, because that's the key. Just laugh at you.
No. He makes even less sense than you do.
Hey now.
And he has a heavy French accent as well.
Hey now. So here's a question for you, my friend.
Yes.
Do you have an E3 memory where you met a listener or a fan, not necessarily somebody who's so into the whole cheap ass gamer vibe that they're on the Discord, but somebody that is into gaming or saw you on MSNBC in Japan or what have you, or on that video game? What's that game called?
Saints Row.
They're it's time to kick some ass and cheap some gas.
Siphon some gas. Get some ass.
But is there a chance or a time when you met like a listener and that like, wow, this is a different E3 than it was before?
No. What do you mean? Why would the E3 be different? You mean a different type of listener?
A different experience where you're like, wow, a lot of people are listening to this podcast.
Oh, like more people, like more people are coming up.
But that know you, that like, you know,
oh,
because on the Proper Modulation podcast, we got a lot of cool people who are longtime fans of yours and the CADcast. Just judging by the callers, all of them are like, yeah, I've been 20 years, 18, 15, you know?
Okay, I have an answer to your question. It's
is there
a roundabout.
Really one? Because I've been vamping for, I don't know.
No. I mean, it's a tough question. I've gone, do you know how many E3s I've gone to?
I don't know, but it's the second thing you tell me when you meet.
Stop it. I tell you how many. How many? Hey, I've been to, I don't even know. I've been since 2004, 5.
That's very cool.
And I only
That's
missed
probably when I gave
2.
up. That's when I gave up on ever going to E3
right.
in 2004. I said, you know what? That dream ain't gonna happen. Put that Nintendo power down.
So to answer your question, like every year, like people would recognize me because I'm tall and bald. So like I stand
and devilishly
out.
Handsome. Devilishly handsome. Ladies, please.
It's like
guys, give us, ladies and gents,
and
everyone else, please give us a like or a Cheapy D emoji in the chat if you love that handsome devil. Look at that man. Look at him blush. He's cute when he blushes.
You want me to answer the question, or you want to make fun of me?
I want to watch you blush. I think
I'm not going to blush because it's silliness. So people always would say hi to me and stuff, but I would say there was one. I went to Penny Arcade Expo one year, which is like an E3 but more fan oriented, so people like can buy tickets for it straight up, unlike E3, which only recently you could buy tickets for, is usually just an industry thing. So, and we did a panel, one year. I did a panel one year with
yourself and I.
No, it was Nelson Rodriguez. I was just a member of the panel.
Very cool. Okay.
I think Nelson was the moderator, and it was like building communities, I believe, was the subject. Anyway, so I don't really remember what we talked about. But I remember after, when these panels are over, people want to say hi to you after the panel. And I remember, like, there was a line of people waiting to just say hi to me, which was, like, very crazy to me. That was like 2000, cool. I think that was like 2008 or something. I'm not exactly sure, but that was the peak. That was the peak. So I peaked. But honestly, like, it was it's a weird feeling, and I don't like I was listening to James Corden on Howard Stern this week, and he talked about
who's James Corden again?
He's a British comedian. He hosts a late night TV show in America.
Okay. I've seen him in like these coffee pot commercials. I think is that
probably that sounds about right. He does like the carpool karaoke, which you might be familiar with.
Some carpool karaoke.
Anyway, yeah, that's dead on impression. So he said that when he first became a celebrity, he was on some TV show in the UK, and it just became super popular. And he said that that freaked him out when he became famous, and he found himself like it changed him as a person. It's to the point where he actually recognized it and went to a therapist and basically said, I've done this shit and I feel like I'm not the same guy that I was a year ago. Can you help me? And I got out of the car at that point, so I don't know what happened. But I always got
paid a lot of money, and they said, you're great. Take these Quaaludes and call me in the morning.
No, it didn't sound like that. But listening to Howard for so many years, you would always hear these stories of celebrities who did not handle their fame well. Like they would just they would have some sort of serious problem, whatever it was.
Lindsay Lohan,
a million of
Charlie
them,
Sheen,
a million, almost everybody.
What you talking about, Willis?
And the ones you don't even know about. These are the ones who have very public sort of breakdowns or what. But I'm sure there's people who are just huge assholes, but they manage to keep it a secret. Like, what's her name?
High Pitch Eric?
No. Like Ellen DeGeneres kept it a secret for a long time, but now the cat's out of the bag. She's a huge asshole.
But her secret was her modus operandi. Is that a secret, or is that just how I conceal my biz? Is how I do my
No, but her whole image is of like on being a nice person. That's like her literal brand is like, I love everybody, but
that's
she's an
because
asshole.
I think like sort of how Trump knows that if you keep saying the same thing over and over, people will just stop arguing with you. I think
Right.
she knew that sells.
Just
So
tell
she
everybody
did
I'm
on
nice.
purpose. Well, it's hard to be really an asshole and then fake being. I mean, like, listen, I love the Larry Sanders show. Hey, nah. But I don't know that it's too far off from the idea of if you're that chirpy on a show where it's not easy to be chirpy, there's probably a lot of turmoil
There's
on
a lot of darkness.
inside.
A lot of
darkness.
And especially if you're one of the most popular television personalities. Anyway, to come back around, I always felt like I might have a problem with that. Like if I ever became famous, I felt like my ego could have been pretty fragile.
Do you have an idea like what you thought famous would like
just people stopping you, just people stopping you wherever in places. Like, and I've had people stop me. I'm not famous by any stretch of the imagination. Just walking like down the streets. I mean, not recently, but I've had people. I've been walking with Mrs. Cheapy. Like people stop me on the street and like ask for a picture, and that's pretty crazy for a guy who like couldn't get a girl to talk to him until like sophomore year of college, maybe.
Especially launching this type of career overseas. You know?
No, I started back.
I thought you did the podcast soon after you were in Japan.
Sure. But I think people are also just like big fans of Cheap Ass Gamer in general. And it wasn't really just the podcast. I would put out a lot of content like, and that would get picked up on blogs and stuff. I would make videos of like me unboxing stuff. I would write critical articles about companies whose business practices I didn't agree with. And
we have to watch this stuff and do the come on, please.
They're all on my YouTube channel.
I want to sit like and watch
a reaction video
and pause and be like, this is where it went wrong. Can you see that hairline?
Their hairline was always the same, but
look at this
as far as the videos, the hairline didn't change.
Mine didn't change.
More wrinkles.
Like 14 years old.
More wrinkles. But and honestly, I haven't watched any of those videos in basically since I made them. So it would be funny to actually revisit like unboxing some premium edition Xbox console that I
think that would be funny.
But yeah, so it was really that. It was because it was actually that's really where people recognized me from, because a podcast nobody knows what the fuck you look like. But when
I'm counting on that.
But at that smart man. But at that point, YouTube was much smaller. And I knew that like if I unboxed the new DS that just came out in Japan, I had a really good shot of a blog like Destructoid or Joystick or Kotaku featuring that article right on their, that video rather, right on their page, because it was an easy blog post for them. They could just embed it right there. And it was great for me because it was views for the videos. So that's why people would really recognize me, because otherwise they would just, I'm another white guy with a deep voice, half a deep voice.
JP.
But then YouTube.
I'm going to do that next time I see you in public. If I recognize you, like if we end up going to Spin, which I'm going to ask you about.
Yes.
And I'm
no one in New York, no one gives a shit though. Manhattan, as long as you're not waving a weapon at somebody, no one's even going to pay attention.
Say it again. Stop trying to distract. Steal you are cheating on me.
Some Eric Andre level stuff.
My therapist said I should just say it instead of hold on to it. So you're cheating on me, going to Spin without me. I'm not ready for that yet, but obviously our relationship isn't that strong.
By the way, that's a good way to not get invited to Spin, is to tell me that you're going to do that.
I mean, remember that if I recognize you first before you recognize me, which is easy because being black, like at certain times, sometimes white people have like an aversion of making eye contact, so they don't recognize.
Not if I'm meeting with a black person.
Then you're
otherwise scared. It's going to be really weird. We'll never meet up.
And then I'll be like, Cheapy.
Anyway, I hope I answered your question.
You didn't. I stopped paying attention about 20 minutes ago, but I'm thrilled.
But meanwhile, all those videos that I made that, did pretty well. That was before you could make money on YouTube. That was before they had any type of like partner program or anything. And by the time I got tired of making those videos, that's when they started up the partner program. And I was like, oh, I don't really need like to make money on YouTube. So I guess I'm just not going to do it.
That's why we need that sound effect. Cheap GPT.
And to be honest, and to take that even a step further, I mean, it's not. Wait,
there's more.
I feel like if that YouTube shit had started up while I was like actively making those videos and they were getting views and you can make money from that, I would probably have pursued that further because it would have been probably harder to stop. Like I'm like, oh, this is like I'm doing this anyway. All right, I flip a switch and now I can make a couple $1,000s on every video I put up.
Seriously, dude, that shit, that YouTube money is like crack. I was I forget who I was talking to somebody, I think a local influencer, and I was just kind of sharing that you got to stabilize your income, man, because I mean that's nice.
Oh, for YouTube, it's very because
it's like crack. Next week, next month, if people like it, if they're watching it, if it's a Subway rat or whatever the fuck, it could change your life right away. But that doesn't mean that money's guaranteed.
No,
especially if you trip on it. You know, you have, if it's not something you've been working on, a storyline or whatever you've been building, you need some stability. So
even still, you're at
that you didn't blow up on YouTube.
No, right. It sounds very stressful, and it also, you're at the mercy.
Boxing people. What's his name?
Jake Paul.
No, the other guy. I don't mind
Floyd Mayweather.
Paul. I don't want to box Floyd Mayweather. Oh. He's the one I don't want to box.
You don't want who do you want to box?
I'm just saying, I don't want to box Floyd Mayweather. And if you, I'm saying if you became a YouTube celebrity, you might have ended up boxing Floyd Mayweather.
That guy is just a fucking Jake Paul. He's just, I don't know. He needs
of idiots,
fame.
Man.
He needs fame. He needs everybody looking at him, I guess. Or he really likes boxing. I mean, that's possible.
Looking for things to be interesting. Listen, I wanted to get distracted on insane and stupid and boring people. Sorry about that. You did answer my question.
I did.
I was curious.
2008 was the answer, and not E3, but Penny Arcade Expo was when my popularity peaked. That's when I was still making YouTube videos, and people like there were just less competition too. Now everybody's fucking doing it, and now the blogs don't need stories from my ass. They can do their own shit. They got their own. Yeah. Anyway, the good old days.
Originator, Cheapy.
Not originator. Just there in the early days of the game blogs. Do you know, like, it was such a small community then.
Okay.
That when Ty was born, that was a news item on major game sites. Like that I had a child, which is like that. But so you would never see that now. I mean, I guess like Ninja. If Ninja had a kid, I guess you would see it. But like,
they pay for it.
Like if like
I don't know Ninja. I'm saying nowadays people.
Otherwise, right. They pay publicities. Right.
No, for baby announcements, they pay. They buy an article in the Times or a wedding announcement.
Yeah. I didn't pay for that. But that's how different things are now. It's just like I don't think that happens really. Anyway, none of this stuff was on the outline, and yet we talked about it for 20 minutes. Perfect.
I know what I'm doing. Maybe. How's your week, man?
I did my first 3 Orange Theory classes in a week in a long time.
Wait, fuck Orange Theory. I want to hear about the spin. Yeah, I forgot. I'm pissed at you. And so is Sue. She's like, you see Sue.
Oh, Sue is the turtle? People in the chat are asking what the turtle's name is. Now we know.
Her name is Sue Chan.
Oh, how do you spell that?
She's Japanese, so it's Sue. You know,
the letters SU. SU is the answer for the people who don't speak Japanese.
Well, you ask me, when you ask a Japanese person how to spell something, what do they say to you? Hiragana no Su?
Well, that's not what you said. Anyway, whatever. So it's SU Chan.
Yes, Su-chan.
Okay, Su-chan. Now we know. SU Chan. I'm going to write it in the chat.
Tell me about Spin.
So I went back to Spin. Spin's the table tennis club. Well, what happened was I got an email from Spin saying, thanks for your patience. We are now moving back to like normal table tennis operations. So we'll be reactivating your membership. I had just paid my membership, I think in like January. I just re-upped my membership.
And you're like completely thanking your lucky stars that you made that purchase right now.
I forgot about
it. Yes.
Well, no, I forgot about it. And they just paused it. They paused the membership.
Ah, okay.
So now they I got the email saying we're reactivating your membership, and actually only members can come during the day. It only opens up to the public in like the evening, 4:00 or so.
That's so beautiful. I might renew my membership because of that. Because it's like one of my favorite places in the world. I've had 3 birthday parties in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Growing up in New Jersey, when you have family, especially being first generation here, and just having an, I guess, an international family kind of deal. When people come to visit, they always want to see New York, and I'm like, I'm not interested in going to New York. Like, I mean, that's nice. That's over there.
Unless there's ping pong tables.
Well, unless it's ping pong tables. And I had my birthday party there. I talked about it before on the show. I think it was a costume party. I was Batman. My wife was Bane. It's a lot of fun, but it sucks to go home with that gigantic cape on you and you're drunk because it really drags when the wind blows in the subway tunnels. And people are like, hey, Batman. You're like, fuck off, man. I'm tired. I'm sweating, But you don't want them to see your face. So it's like, Anyway, Spin is an awesome place. And it's like one of the few places that I miss from the pandemic, because like this show was that was what we used to do.
Right.
Spin on Friday.
Except he was even more sweaty than he is right now, if you can believe it. More towel. He has a much bigger towel when he's at Spin. So yeah, I went. It was empty because like
you would bring me the towel. You'd become like I think this guy's gonna die.
Did I bring you a
want
towel?
Some water? You've done that before.
I know like how table tennis works. If there's somebody who hasn't really played, and unless they're in like great shape, like for example, when I played with the Twitch streamer Mikey, he rides like miles and miles of bike every day through Manhattan, so he's in great.
Yeah. He's like a just delivery or something.
Exactly, and he's
I found
in great.
Him from you, I like watching this thing.
He's in great shape, so I didn't bring him a towel. I knew that he may not be as good as me, but.
Fuck you.
I figured he was in like good shape. But I know like if I play with Mrs. Cheapy in the backyard and I'm really trying, like she's going to get a lot more tired than I am. Not necessarily because of our fitness levels, but because I can make her move more because I'm better at table tennis and I can, you have to work less if you're better. That's all. Do
you remember my phrase for being able to aim and target a certain spot? No. I learned it from my uncle, Trevor. Not Uncle Trevor, Uncle Nigel. Location. I would go, and then we hit like the corner.
Yes, you do want to hit the corner.
And then I'd be like, location.
Right.
All of my West Indian family in the chat or listening in the future, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Location. Anyway, New York is back. Everybody was there. Masks.
So you weren't freaked out? Like, I mean, did you tell Wombat? Did Wombat get you out about it? Or
no. What do you mean?
He doesn't want you going into the.
Everybody's vaccinated.
Oh, right. So why aren't you invite me over yet?
To what?
What's that about? You've been telling me I couldn't come until everybody was vaccinated, but evidently everybody's vaccinated. So first, when did that happen? And second, why you ain't tell me? And third, why it ain't?
Technically, Ty will be fully vaccinated on Friday. Next Friday.
Today's Friday.
Next Friday.
See, you guys caught him. He was lying.
He already had his second shot, though. And I don't see the kid that much, to be honest. I'm not breathing on him too often. He comes home whenever. He goes, I got my VR. I'm busy throwing discs. We bump elbows at the end of the night, and that's it.
I have this imagination that you guys are like episode 1 and 2 of Omni-Man and Invincible.
No. He hasn't seen that, by the way.
Hello, son. This is how you become a cheap-ass gamer.
No. And then I punch the shit out of him.
I said episode 1 or 2.
Okay. So New York is back, and I went to Italy, and I had some pizza. It was delicious, and I took the train in, and it was nice to not drive in because that's stupid. Mm-hmm. And now, I don't know. Now I got the new club opening up, so we'll go. We can go anytime.
Very cool. Very cool. Obviously, I can't go on Friday anymore. I got obligations.
Well, you can go in the morning.
I see. Unlike you, I like to focus and deliver. Like I feel that I have been able to attain greatness in my own right through focus. Great focus. My Tai Chi, for example, the last 15 months of study has elevated my Chi to a level where I've actually lost my hair.
That you're so good that you've become bald.
Yes, evidently the power, the energy building in me was
it's the other way I thought
to the unhealthy follicles and made way for healthier ones to come.
I see.
When I reach super Saiyan, level.
Reverse Samson. That's all.
Reverse Samson. I could work with that. Hey, actually, you know what? I got to get the name. I didn't get a chance to put this on there. But there's this Netflix show I think you might enjoy
Mhm.
about the pantheon of gods, but it's Japanese and Japanese anime style.
I saw the trailer for that
Do you
briefly.
remember the name?
No, but I saw
I
it
remember
just
the
popped
name.
up when I fired up Netflix. It knows that there's anime.
It knows.
It knows that there's anime being watched in this household by
Exactly.
all of its members in various forms.
And it's really good. I'm enjoying it. I thought it was going to be like, I can't get into this because I saw gigantic tickled bitties. And that's usually a good sign for me. Just personally, I'm not judging anybody, but for
Right.
me personally, when I see gigantic tickled bitties, I'm like, okay, maybe not my type of
Sure.
anime. Because I like, I want life, death questions. I want afterlife questions. I want
Right.
morality. I want fathers beating their sons
Right.
almost to death and then flying out across the galaxy. We only know because he has not adjusted his trajectory and has only increased his velocity, which
Right.
speaks to leaving the solar system.
Right.
So check that out. We'll put up the name on the Twitter later on, but you made me think about that. I fought through. I said I'm gonna watch it. I watched 2 episodes of it, and I started getting addicted. They brought out Thor, and it was just so ridiculous and over the top. I'm like laughing my ass off.
Cool.
I love that stuff, man.
Is it
I
adult?
love it.
Is it very adult?
No. So like my line is, because I'm an artist myself, I just don't get off on the erotica because I could draw it myself. I just choose not to. That's kind of my
sure.
thing. That's why I don't judge it, because I don't. It doesn't strike me the same way. I don't see any heightened levels of perversion. It's just art. I can do it myself. I just choose not to. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, it's like I'm not looking to really be sexually aroused watching these things. So like, if
some people like.
I know, but I'm not. So like,
You're not. Oh, okay.
So I'm looking for. I'll get that elsewhere. I'll get those big old titties somewhere else in some other
tickled bitties.
Tickled bitties. So
yeah. You ever call them? Okay, now I'm gonna get distracted.
No.
Let's focus. Okay.
Yes.
So I thought it's not as so far as I've seen, it's not X-rated.
Okay.
From what I've seen of Netflix's,
is there nudity, sex in it? That's all I'm asking.
I haven't seen so far, but I'm only episode 2 in, and I was gonna say that what I've learned about these Netflix quote unquote original animes,
right?
Oftentimes they're repurposed mangas, and some of these mangas are a lot more erotic, or they're repurposed animes or republished animes that are more erotic and have been cut down. So I can't tell you.
Right.
It doesn't seem to be in the spirit of it. It seems like they are just going to be on the edge, and not even. I don't even want to say it's the edge. It's not like it's
just wacky.
Euro. Yeah, it's
Japanese wackiness.
But it's the pantheon of gods, so they're making it so
supposed to be wacky.
Aphrodite has gigantic, like it's bigger than my upper torso.
Right.
But it's Aphrodite, and they're talking about gods fighting humans. It's silly. It's beyond ridiculous, and that's why I like it. You know.
Okay, I'll check that out, even though we don't know what it's called.
Yeah. We don't know what it's called.
It's on Netflix.
Somebody knows in the chat. Someone's gonna text it.
If you watch anime, it'll probably just pop up on Netflix.
Thank you. Where are you, bro? You're supposed to help us out with this shit. Shoot us a text.
It was something blood. I think blood was in the name, right?
Blood of the gods.
Coliseum.
Something like that. I don't know.
Blood
I'm
in the
sorry.
Coliseum.
I ran out of time. It only made the grade.
I could Google it, but
today
Netflix gods anime, because there's another one too that I watched, that Blood of Zeus, but that's not this. This is Record of Ragnarok.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Record of Ragnarok.
It's. I am enjoying it. Okay. I thought it was good. I also like Kenging Ashura. Have you ever seen that one?
Who? What now?
Kenging Ashura. That's Keng.
I don't watch any of these that have the Japanese names in them. Like
you just married the Japanese.
I figure that's a red flag for me.
Too Japanese. Red flag. It might be too good.
Too Japanese. And I can't tell anybody that I'm watching it because I'm gonna have to say it like that, and they're gonna think I'm a douchebag.
There's nothing wrong. You're not a douche for all the children listening.
Yes.
Ignore the adult suggestions in this podcast and take home that it's not wrong to speak another language the way it's supposed to be spoken. Quite the contrary. That is the right way to speak the language.
Let me ask, by the way, you're too in love with the sound of your own voice. You have to calm down.
Oh my!
That's why you keep losing your breath, because there's hearts flying above you. Now I forgot what I was going to ask you. So you're saying if you were going, here's my question. I want to see if you really heed your own fucking advice. So you're telling me you go to round 1. You know round 1?
No.
Round 1 is
I didn't say I went to round 1. How are you going to tell me how to take my advice?
Just listen. Round 1 is it's a big arcade bowling alley. They have karaoke there, right? There's no Japanese people working there. Okay, you're gonna walk into the place and you have to tell them what you want to do. Do you want to play ping pong? Do you want to what else do they have there? Do you want to do bowling or do you want to do the room with the singing? What do you say to the person?
No,
you don't say that. They'll fucking punch you right in the face.
Can I tell you? Okay,
they will make you smell the dirty bowling shoes if you say the whole thing in Japanese.
I'm gonna hey, listen. Okay, I'll answer your question seriously, and and then I'll tell you a story if I remember about that same scenario. A funny story. Speaking Japanese to someone who doesn't.
Okay, so what do? You walk up to the counter in round one and you say,
"Is round one an American establishment? Is it a Korean establishment?
It's Japanese.
Is this like a white guy problem?
No,
where it's obvious answer, but I'm mystified because I don't know anything.
It's a Japanese. No, you're just listening to your own voice again. Yes. It's a Japanese company. It's a Japanese company. Nobody working there is Japanese. I would
communicate to them in the language they spoke. God damn it!
So what?
Isn't that obvious?
Say it.
Hi, I'd like to rent a room.
No, that doesn't mean anything. You have to say they have other things going on. What do you want?
What do you want?
You want a room
or the menu choices is what you're saying.
You want to rent a room that you can sing in. What do you say? Hi, sir. Welcome to round one. How may I help you?
I'd like to rent a room to sing in.
You fucker.
You're saying I should say karaoke? Karaoke?
Right. What do you say?
If my wife is with me, I'm going to say it correctly so I don't offend her. It's her fucking culture.
Okay.
So I'm not going to make believe what if real. Or like I didn't actually learn it. Or like, dude, when I was in 9th grade, I got my first Japanese book from it wasn't.
You are copping out of this question big time. Well, there's asterisks. There's a lot of asterisks.
When I was a junior in high school, I rented from the library or borrowed from the library a not teach yourself, but it was like a Japanese 101 book. Okay, I covered the book so kids wouldn't tease me, and I studied it in my physics class. I didn't put all that fucking time in to make believe that it's a bad thing to educate yourself, to grow your brain. We didn't have a lot of money.
No one's talking about any of that.
Can I finish?
I'm
gonna let you finish.
You precursored your answer with you were with your wife. Now you're not with your wife. You're by yourself, or you're with me.
You're being so insensitive.
You're with me. We walk up to round one. Hello, sir. Welcome to round one. How may I help you and your tall, white, bald, ugly friend?
Karaoke.
Perfect. You're going to say karaoke, aren't you? Just admit it, and then we can move on.
Do you remember when we went to the?
He won't admit it. He knows it's true.
I'm going to say.
Okay.
Listen, I stand out. Okay, I'm Kurimanju. When I go around, I'm kind of a big fucking deal.
Right.
When I go to some place and someone says, "Hey, do you want to do karaoke?"
Yes.
They're working there.
Yeah.
I have this theory that they're going to be happier with their life if they have dignity in what they do. And the first step in dignity and what you do is to understand it better.
Yes.
And I would say I would love to do karaoke or karaoke.
Oh, you would say both. You would throw it back at them both. Give them.
Yes.
You're too refined and thoughtful.
That's not refinement. That's just human communication. Should I just beat my chest?
That's what I do. I just don't want to be embarrassed. I just want to save myself embarrassment.
Show us.
And if my wife is there,
see it now. I want to see it. Show us what you would do. Beat yourself.
No, I would just
like a monkey.
No, I would say I would like to rent we'd like to get a karaoke room. And even if my wife was with me, I would say that, and I do, and I have. Because
but you should embrace it, dude. It's not
my job.
You're letting Long Island sink into you too much. It's good to have diversity. But no, I'm saying I grew up.
They don't want to hear anything from me. They want. They want my money and me to turn around and go into the room and sing and then leave. That's what they want. As fast as possible.
When you give someone a smile, when you give someone something in their life, no. I'm not saying give them your smile. That's not giving them. That's smiling yourself. They gave you a smile. But if you can create a smile on their end, it can make things different. They might have a different sequences of events. And I've never gone wrong by using my languages that I've learned over time to communicate. I learned them so I could talk to other people that I couldn't talk to normally. Back in the day, Japanese wasn't accessible.
But those are different things.
Anime wasn't accessible. So I learned it for a reason.
Right. You know? I get it. You're still
why are you
karaoke.
I am so dying to find out your scarring with pronouncing Japanese.
It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It's more about bothering the people. I don't want to bother the people.
Isn't it awesome to learn how to say
Yeah,
You
maybe,
know?
but I would want to do that on my own terms. Like if I wanted to learn how to say that properly, I would look it up. If I worked at round one, I recognize it's a Japanese word. Maybe I would look it up properly. Maybe I don't, but chances are I don't give a shit because it's probably a shitty job. They just want to
Cheapy,
get through the day.
if
I
I
want
was
to
a
be left
kid,
alone.
if I was a kid, I came over your house.
Yes.
You have every single game in existence.
No kids allowed.
And
Yeah.
I like, what's that? I point to like an old school Nintendo.
Yeah.
Are you gonna teach me what Nintendo means?
No, of course not.
Why not?
I would never say it like that.
Why not?
Because
so cool.
It's not my place. I'm a big white guy.
It's everybody's place. This is the point of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, to educate this big white guy that we're all.
Nobody, if he starts calling it Nintendo to his friends are gonna beat the shit out of him.
No, or maybe
what favor am I doing that kid?
No,
it's not Nintendo. It's Nintendo. This big white guy told me. I went to his house. He had every game. And then now he's getting shoved in a locker and he's getting the swirlies in the toilet.
No.
My uncle Cheapy works at Nintendo.
Say it again, motherfucker.
Right,
Nintendo.
Right. Strangle him. We're gonna strangle him with a game controller cord. Yes.
Well, listen, I want to remind you of the time we went to the Japanese supermarket together because you invited me over without actual food at your house, which was rude.
That's not what happened at all. I'm pretty sure.
I invited myself over is what happened.
No, I think you wanted to do some shopping. Anyway, and what happened?
and
how did you embarrass me at the Japanese supermarket? What happened? I don't remember.
I told you off for not.
No, seriously, what happened?
I told you off for not bowing to the.
Did you really? Is that really what happened?
I said, Eishaku, and you're like, what? I was like, Eishaku is like the half bow that you would give in normal. Everybody doesn't always bow all the way down to the freaking floor. It's not like a movie. But people just kind of like
I do that. I don't do that when you're watching.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it at the supermarket, and it's us two.
I wasn't buying anything.
It's us two non-Japanese. So like one is like homono no gaijin, like one is like a real gaijin, like that's Cheapy, and then the other one's your favorite Kurimanju.
I'm all about that half bow, and I did not buy anything. You were buying stuff. I was just there along for the ride.
And I pay the guy. I'm like, how are you doing? Thanks for the thing.
He's my bro. That guy. He's my best friend. That guy.
And you just staring him down with your ice glare, and the guy's probably like worrying, like, are you gonna call ICE or something? And like check his papers. And I'm like, I'm like. Ishakua? And this dude is just like, huh? Just looks at me like, I don't know what you're talking. I'm like, dude, now show some respect. Show some respect.
Right. He's my buddy, that guy.
He's your people's?
He gives me like all the updates on like new restaurants that might be opening in town. Like there's a new ramen place opening up.
Ooh.
And he makes fun jokes. And yeah, it's good.
Let's have him call in.
He's working all the time. He's there right now. I could just go on location.
That's your question. So you're back at Spin. I don't know, like my office is opening up. I don't know how I feel about going back to work on a daily, even like a semi-frequent basis. Cause like, let me tell you something, like this morning I had a chef, you know, that movie, Jon Favreau movie, The Chef or something like that.
Yes, Chef. Yep.
Love that movie. So growing up first generation American citizen, I didn't understand the fascination with grilled cheese. We didn't grow up having grilled cheese. We had different cheese things with bread, but it wasn't grilled cheese. Right. And when I saw that, I've had it other times at friends' places, but usually the parents just trying to get it out and get the kids out of the way. And then when I saw that movie, I think it was like 2006. Did it come out? 2016? 2006, I think. I don't know. When I saw that, 2016 probably. Anyway, when I saw that movie,
yeah,
I fell in love with the French toast with the grilled cheese. I could have that style grilled cheese for breakfast and not be being lazy every single day, like, and be early like I want to be. Sometimes I go to the waterfront and do Tai Chi at the waterfront because it's really nice feeling with the wind and everything. Like at 6:30 or something in the morning, I had like mango lassies. I think I want to say 3 times a week for almost the entirety of this lockdown.
Nice.
Why do I want to switch that up to go to probably an hour of traffic, dodging, getting hit by cars, arguing with people why they should or should not wear their mask at the CVS or the Wawa. Why do I want to? I don't know.
Yeah, Mrs. Cheapy's got to go back. She's got to go back 2 times a week or 3 times a week. I forget. But
I mean, I got friends who've been going the whole time. They've been 3 times a week, but I just don't know that I am very effective and I get to do what I've wanted to do. But typically you have this idea that only a billionaire can do Tai Chi during his day of work, or exercise. You have to be pulling down a couple million a year to be able to work out during the day. And
it's not true. Well, I can tell you for sure that's not true from personal experience. You said pulling down $1 million a year. I'm not pulling down $1 million a year.
I thought you were a billionaire.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. I'm pulling down $1 billion a year.
Mrs. Kurimanju is watching this. Don't spoil it for me, bro. He said he's a billion with a B. It's good. All good.
That's why I'm doing this. Speaking of
it's a long game. It's really long.
Dude. I had a very dark thought, even though because you were making a joke, but I know a guy who actually took advantage of a old wealthy billionaire and stole his money. Like a guy in my fraternity, in my college fraternity.
Seriously?
I know
Is
3.
It the one you send shit pictures?
I know 3 people per. No. I've noticed different.
I wish I could unlearn that, but I can't. It's sort of like Jeffrey Toobin. I can't stop thinking about, Anyway, right. I'm sorry. Please go.
I forgot what I was saying.
No, you didn't. Stop lying. You were talking about your con artist of frat brother.
Oh no, I know 3 people who have committed serious fraud. 2 of them were imprisoned for it, and one of them is on the run right now.
On the run?
In Japan. He's on the one guy's in Japan, and the other 2 guys are in America.
The best part of knowing somebody on the run in Japan is that the odds of them leaving, especially if they're like a white person and not like Japanese, are very low. So you could be like, he's probably not going to show up,
Well, the guy,
it's hard to leave and not get caught. That's how you get caught when you try to leave.
Right. Well, the guy
on a boat.
Well, yeah, he just keeps moving. The guy in Japan, he basically started like a company that was from what the accusations are, that he started a company that was basically bullshit and defrauded investors, took their money, and now the investors are trying to get criminal proceedings going in Japan. Apparently, it's pretty hard for something like this, maybe especially if the person is like on the run and doesn't just like turn themselves in. I don't know. It seems like they're having a real trouble like getting the police after him because he's moving around a lot. And I was like, I hung out with this guy like every day. Basically,
Yeesh.
At Tokyo American Club, at the world famous Tokyo American Club.
What did he eat?
He had a healthy appetite, and he liked his wine, and he was very nice to me, and he never asked me for any money or anything.
He always paid, didn't he?
He always paid for himself, and I paid.
Oh, for himself. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
no,
okay.
he wasn't. He
because it's on your tab at the club.
Right. So he wasn't like there were no really. The only warning signs with this guy. This is not the guy who defrauded the billionaire. That was a different guy. But the guy in Japan, the only warning sign was him. He talked about how he owned all these Ferraris, that he was a huge Ferrari fan. But I saw pictures of him with Ferraris, like standing next to them and maybe in them, right. But never did he pull up in a Ferrari, or never did I see him have a Ferrari.
But having a Ferrari in Japan would be beyond decadent, I'd imagine. At that time, especially.
No, but for something like that, I mean, he had like a crazy whole story about how he worked. Right. He was a founder at Microsoft, or like one of the first people working at Microsoft in Japan, and this whole fucking thing. And
I like that. That's a good grift.
He had a whole thing that he went to Harvard and everything, and it was all bullshit, all fucking bullshit.
Dude, like, I gotta try that out.
Check this out. This was actually happened because I was there, but the premise, the whole thing was based on bullshit. And I think I told the story on the CADcast because it was so fucking crazy. I was having lunch with this guy, and we're sitting there at Tokyo American Club eating on the patio, and it's a lovely day eating our sandwiches. This guy comes over, and he says, "Oh, hey, are you so and so?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, yes, I've heard of you. My friend." Well, actually, I think he just sat down with him because his friend introduced him, and he said he's a car dealer. He's an exotic car dealer. Okay. And he said, I heard that you own
better and better.
He said, I heard that you own an original McLaren McLaren F1. And those things are worth, and he's like, yes, I do. He's like, and I have an original number. And he said number, whatever. And I have the track kit that came with it. I guess it comes with like a suitcase with shit. I don't even know, but he said, whatever, I have that. Like, and the guy's like, well, I have a lot of clients that are very interested in purchasing that car, and I can offer you like $17 million for it, like right now. Like, I offer you right. And he's like, it's really for my kids. Like, I think I want them to really like enjoy. And I'm sitting there like eating my sandwich, like going like, what the fuck is happening? This guy just got offered $17 million for a car, and he was just like, I mean, turns out he doesn't have the fucking car, but I didn't know that at the time. And I'm just sitting there with my sandwich, like, I don't have a car. I live next door to a car dealer, but don't have a car here. And yeah, he just, and then the guy went up. The guy, I think, went up like $1 million or $2 million, and he was like, nah, it's really for my kids.
Dude, Segway King. Shout outs to Lupin season 2.
Thief. He's a gentleman thief. He would never do any of these things. He would not steal from a nice old billionaire. He would steal from a fucking asshole billionaire and fuck him up, but he wouldn't do any of these things. Yes, we finished season 2 last night, actually. And
no spoilers.
No spoilers. It's a very well put together show, and it's a really great show. And we watched it. We watched it in French with the subtitles, as I would hope that you would.
Did you know it was in Japanese? Just kidding.
That's a different Lupin.
No, I was gonna say about Lupin. However, maybe this guy, your guy,
yes,
hired somebody to do that to give him credibility with you.
No.
To play out the whole.
He never asked me for anything.
They do that.
Yeah,
no, hear me out.
It could have been another guy. Could have been a different guy that was with us at the lunch. I'm not sure. There might have been.
Who knows who he's trying to impress and get
he
the
never
story
asked
out
me for anything. I spent every day with him.
You were probably another prop, so that other people watching were like giving him legitimacy.
I show up like this every day, like a t-shirt and shorts. Like,
yeah, the tall white guy who somehow shows up to the Tokyo Manhattan American Club every day wearing a t-shirt.
I live next door basically, and I did work there.
He smells like somebody who's putting a plaque on his house.
I ordered the plaque, by the way.
Did you? Do you feel good about the color scheme and the layout?
Yeah, I didn't show you the final one.
Not. I feel like you got pissed at me because I wasn't able to get back to you quickly.
I didn't. No. I asked like a literal professional designer.
I am a literal fucking professional designer.
A guy who
shit.
Pro designer. You got paid for that? Nobody paid you.
What the fuck this is?
Yeah, but
you know
nobody.
What the fuck this is?
If you didn't get paid for it, you're not a pro. Did you get paid for it?
This is the payback.
This is the payment. Talking to me. It's a
not
horrible
to you,
payment.
to our listeners.
Oh,
Give a shit about you. It's about them, baby.
It's all horrible.
With you teeth, y'all. Dude, so let me ask you this.
Yes. I'll let you know when the plaque comes. Maybe you can come for the what's the ceremony called when you take the unveiling?
Where I urinate. No, that's wrong.
Unveiling.
Unveiling, where you break the champagne bottle on.
Or is that only for dead people with a headstone? It might not be for like a house plaque.
I commemoration. That's when you would do it. Like a commemoration or something, or the recognition of the event. I do too many of those. Right. I've done too many of those things in my life. But I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Well, no, you felt jaded because you went to the real professional. I'm not a professional. You should go ask the professional commemorator, or dedicator, or fuckerator.
I will. I was going to ask him, actually.
Yeah, and then, he wants money, so never mind.
He doesn't want money. He lives in Brooklyn. He's a nice guy.
Stop plugging his Twitter already.
I didn't even mention his name.
You actually should, though. Actually, we should give him a shout out if he helped you.
I don't know. I don't want people to then think that he's going to offer them free advice.
No worries.
He spent one set. I said A, or I sent him two things. I said A or B, and he wrote back B, and that was the end of the consultation.
You are a great client.
Yeah, no, well, I didn't pay him, so I did actually. I hired him to do the new CAG logo, which we still haven't really been using. But anyway,
gotta get some money. Gotta get some traction out of this somehow. Would you look at this plaque?
Right.
Like, I got a belt buckle, and was wondering if you take a look at it.
I should have. Oh, I wanted to show you something, and I brought it upstairs, so I can't show it to you.
Go run upstairs. I'll vamp. I'll dance.
No, it's okay. I can describe it fine. It's theater of the mind. It's better if I just describe it.
Call into the show like old school Stern when he goes to knock on the guy's door.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's me. Knock,
All
knock.
right. So where did you forget, and where
No,
did
no,
you
no. I
forget it?
bought. First of all, if my dad is listening, stop listening because I want to
Dad,
talk.
stop listening.
I
Stop
want to. I
listening.
want to talk about the Father's Day gift that I got him because I just got it and set it up because I have to I had to modify. I don't know what the word is. I had to alter it a little bit. So
Let me give my exclusion.
he's gone.
Stop.
He's gone. He's gone.
Proper modulation.
It's not an exclusive. I talked about it on the CADcast.
God
2
damn
days
it.
ago. But I didn't have it then, and I got it now. So I bought my dad this at games game. What's it called? Fucking at games gamer mini, ultimate gamer mini. It's called the At Games Legends Gamer Mini. At Games Legends Gamer Mini. It's a joystick.
Try that again.
At Games Legends Gamer Mini. It was $90 on Target, Walmart, normally $130. Okay. Imagine an arcade joystick with all the buttons, okay, in a small box that you can fit on your lap. And it's got a HDMI, it's like a little puck and an HDMI cable that connects to the back of your TV.
Okay.
And now you can play arcade games. If you modify it in a certain way, you can, through a beautiful interface that has the arcade art and actual videos of the game, so you can see as you scroll through your list of 1,200 games, you can get a little preview and just scroll through any game that you would want to play with an arcade stick, from classic arcade days. So
classic, like I mean, are we going all the way to Double Dragon?
Yeah, all that shit, everything, and it's
Did
awesome.
I tell you about the time I beat Double Dragon?
We all beat Double Dragon, dude.
But
if you had enough quarters, you could beat a Double Dragon.
But I got the respect of my cousins.
You have my respect.
They were visiting from Canada.
True.
They spoke French. It was important to me.
Okay. How do you say double dragons in French?
Le dragon doubleur.
Okay.
En deux. I have no fucking idea, dude. I'm making this shit all up.
Right.
Can I tell you about a video game that I'm interested in thinking about? I wanted to get your thought on it because just in case.
I don't even play games. What are you talking about?
I don't play games. I don't have time.
Right.
But I like games.
Okay.
And this one spoke to me. It's a game called Speed Limit.
I looked at this game, came out like a while ago. What made you get? How come you got this? Why did it catch your attention now?
Oh, I've been listening to this YouTube. I should give him a shout out because I really do dig it. This YouTube channel on that has really cool music, really cool kind of synth, kind of study, kind of ambient music or what have you. And I've been listening to that while I work to try to keep myself more focused. And they had an ad for the game, and the game was what do you call this? 8-bit?
What?
Pixelated? I don't remember the type of art.
Oh yeah. It was maybe 16-bit.
16, yeah. And I really love those games, like Double Dragon and all that stuff. Ninja Gaiden and those. I love those things. And this game is kind of like a tour through those different styles of retro gaming.
Yeah.
And in that game is like I guess like a commute, and you're commuting on a train, and then you're like on a driver style road kind of thing where you're dodging cars, and then you're I think in a fighter jet or
it did look
whatever
cool.
it was.
It did look cool. It's on everything.
It's on everything. Okay.
Yeah. And and I think it's like $10. So
okay, so then it's worth the investment because I wanted to check that out before.
There's a lot of games like that type of game became kind of popular again in the last several years. So they've modern retro. I don't know what the proper term is, but they take like a 16-bit art style and they just make a fast arcade game that's usually they're difficult. They're pretty difficult. Right. But they usually they'll have like cool things like slow motion or something. Yeah, we
need to do a CAD game like Leisure Suit Larry, but you're Larry.
I played through that game when it came out.
But I'm saying I want us to make a new one, and you're Larry, but like it's just like TBD's life and jerking off while he's doing VR, like raccoons breaking into the back of
none of that stuff happened in Leisure Suit Larry.
Ping pong.
None of that stuff happened in Leisure Suit Larry.
Getting points for like spraying pepper sauce onto your tree.
I did that again 2 days ago. I sprinkled the pepper. I don't know that it works, but it is. I feel like my sprinkler anti-raccoon system it does work. It does scare them. Like maybe not. It's not 100% effective, but I feel like my lawn has not looked better. So I think it might be like 80% effective, which is better than nothing. And I didn't have to buy anything extra. Just had to figure out how to set it up with the Alexa shit.
Yeah, and you know what though? I mean, I feel for you. I was visiting. I went down to Philly um, Tuesday. I think I went to Philly, and my buddy's got a great, beautiful house down there. Great. I mean, like a large size place, an upgrade for them. Beautiful place. And next door is like a beautiful, like equally beautiful historic place, but completely like run down.
Okay.
And like there's a vulture living in the back house.
Yikes.
Now, I mean, this is like close to the Wissahickon Creek. So it's around a lot of nature. It's like a suburb of Philly, I would say. I wouldn't say it's Philadelphia. It's kind of like in the I was in like East Falls area, you know, Mayor of Easttown.
Okay,
that's
is that
where
there?
it's staged. Yeah. A lot of it was filmed in that area, like East Falls kind of area. And I'm like, I'm just thinking to there's a what? He's got a 5-month-old dog. Okay,
Right.
Vultures will eat that. A
Yeah, I
hawk
would
will
think.
eat a Pomeranian. A hawk will pick it up and fly off with it and eat it later. You
Tell
know
them
what
about
I mean?
my sprinkler system. Maybe it'll help.
Well, I'm just thinking about that, and I was like, you know, I guess because that's just one animal. There's a family of raccoons. There's like
Yeah, I
a
bet.
whole bio zone going over there, and I guess sometimes you have to learn to live with them. So
Right.
maybe that's the easier solution to
That's-
redirect their travel into something that's more productive for you and less disruptive, as opposed to prevent their entrance. I don't know if that's going to be possible. It seems like that's their world, and you guys got to be neighbors.
Pretty much, it's a game at this point. Like I'm not gonna. I can win the game. Look,
Cheap-ass gamer.
I can win the game very easily by getting the chemicals that will kill all the insects in your lawn and spray that on the lawn. And then the raccoons will have no reason to dig up the lawn. But I don't want to do that.
You would die inside as well.
Right. I don't want to do that. I like to see the birds come back and eat through the lawn. And I just, whatever. It's probably not great for.
I like eating the lawn. It's very tasty.
Yeah, you're right. I like a nice salad. So what I do is, and FragTube asked in the chat, he said, "Are you sure they're raccoons? Because I don't think raccoons get really scared of anything." I made eye contact with one.
They're raccoons, bro.
Last night, like he walked. He set off I was in my bathroom. He set off the motion detection light in the backyard, one of them, and so I saw the light go off. So I knew to look out the window, and so I banged on the window to try to scare him, and then he looked at me. And I looked at him, and I saw it was definitely a fucking raccoon, a big, like the size of a dog. And then he looked at the light.
Did he be like, and just like walk off?
No, well, not quite. He looked at the light like he was gonna, like the light confused him a little, or he was gonna like do something to it, but he didn't. And then I ran to the door so I could try to throw something at him, because that's my new part of the game. I bought these. They sell like Amazon. If you go on Amazon and type this shit in, they have everything. They'll sell you anything, and none of it works. One of the things they'll sell you is a box, of flashing red lights that are supposed to scare the animal. It's supposed to look like supposed to be like a predator's red eyes. It doesn't do shit. So I bought like 4 of those.
This just in, Amazon will sell you anything.
No, anything to scare away raccoons. Like you type in raccoon deterrent, this shit will pop up. These flat box with solar power on top and flashing red lights. Doesn't scare them unless you throw it at the raccoons, and then it's really effective because they run. So that's what I do.
Maybe the strobing effect might affect them.
No, it's the heavy plastic thing coming right at them.
So it doesn't matter that it's flashing.
I flash it on just for fun as part of the game. The flashing has nothing to do with it. I'm just like, bam, because they have no other purpose otherwise, because they're just sitting there. So I brought them all inside now, and now that's my ammo for if I can get to the door and see the raccoon there. Because I do get a text message when the motion detector goes off. There's a chance that I could get there. And I feel like if I hit them a few times with that, they're going to remember that, and maybe they move along next time.
Well, listen, I will brainstorm with you. I will say this, however. Beware those raccoons.
Oh my God. Broseph in the chat says you likely have a neighbor feeding them. That's why they're not scared of people. You are 100% right.
I could believe that.
He's right. My neighbor, I know my neighbor. He told me that they feed the raccoons, and I was gonna say like, Oh my God, you feed the raccoons. They're digging the shit out of my lawn. The guy's 94 years old. Like, I'm not
We
exaggerating.
talked about this on the show, and I told you, don't you think that's
it's a bad idea for me to tell a 94-year-old guy that he can't do something that he enjoys.
Okay,
you know what?
I can see that.
That's fucked up. Like, who am I to say, like, this guy, especially like the last fucking year and a half, like,
right?
That's not, you don't want to be living through a pandemic when you're 94. Like, fuck, like that. Everything about that is bad. If he wants to feed the raccoons, I'll live with the lawn being torn up until.
Will you live with the rabies?
There's no rabies.
With the Staphylococcus.
They don't. Raccoons don't. It's only if they get sick, and anything can get sick. Like, it's not, the raccoons are not a big deal, and they're going to be here anyway. They just maybe.
Yeah. You are a big-hearted man.
I mean, look, he's not, how much longer could he be around for?
That surprised you.
It's fine. I know. The guy who lived here, the guy who lived in this house before we bought it, he was like 92 or something. So it's this spot is magic. It's the raccoons. The raccoons bless us with a long life for sustaining them. That's why I'm not poisoning the lawn.
Speaking of long life, did you see the Titans season 3 teaser trailer?
I did. There's a new villain in town. Specially created for this show.
No.
Yeah, it's the Kidder.
What?
No, the Joker. I'm just kidding. Joker.
Cheapy.
Yes, the Joker is coming to Titans. Titans was a good show. Listen, here's the story with Titans.
No, wait. I want you to tell your joke again.
No.
It was so good.
I told it was so bad that I told it to Wombat in the text message previously when I sent him the trailer. But the problem with Titans is Titans has great moments, but there's too many. It's another one of these shows that's got too many episodes. You know?
Well, no, wait. What nonsense are you talking? It's too many episodes, or you watch too much TV?
No, I don't watch too much TV for sure.
Yeah, you do. How are you going to say I like this show, but there's too much of it?
I'm saying some of it is not up to par. Some of it is outstanding, and some of it is just like is cringeworthy. Like
you're talking about the trailer, because that's what I'm talking about.
No, the trailer was great. The trailer was great.
Want to talk about the goddamn.
The trailer was great. The trailer was great. Joker is going to be in it, and Robin is scared. Robin is confused.
Red Hood. Don't bury the lead.
Oh, it's Red Hood. Oh, it's Red Hood.
Are you familiar with Red Hood?
I know Red Hood.
Can I give you some? Listen, let's make believe you picked up on everything. You're just feeding my ego. I want to give you a couple of
is that
points to take away. Okay.
Oh, because it's the new. He's the new Robin in Titans, right? And the old Robin is Red Hood, right? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's not.
New Robin, old Robin. Can you be more confusing?
Oh, I thought.
Why don't you grow a beard too? In Titans, now they'll never know who's Kurimanju.
I thought in Titans. Oh, right. In Titans, the Robin becomes Nightwing, and then they recruit a new Robin. Correct? Is that what happened? It's been a long time.
Is then murdered by the Joker.
Right. So that's
which is
happen.
What it seems like this season seems to be focused around.
They're not going to kill that guy. He's the star of the show.
Jason Todd is killed. It's happened. It's a fixed point in history.
So you're saying he's going to become Red Hood?
Be changed.
He's going to become Red Hood?
Would you listen? This point in the time stream cannot be changed. It's a fixed point. Do you understand?
No. What movie is that from?
I'm creating my own film. It's called Dr. Kareem.
You're a weird guy. Did I ever tell you you're a weird guy?
So can I give you the 3 points of the show that I think you should take away? I'm not trying to say that you haven't picked up on them. Just trying to be a bro.
Okay.
That's all.
Yep.
I'm here for you. 1, I think that they're going to be going on the Under the Red Hood animated film storyline, which introduces the Red Hood. For those who don't know, there are many iterations of Robin. There is even like a Robin's following of superheroes who follow after Robin. There's a Nightwing list of superheroes who follow after Nightwing in his own memory. These stories are so old. There's been many iterations. Mm-hmm. However, the second Robin, I believe it's the second. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys in the chat, guys and gals in the chat. Jason Todd is the second Robin who becomes Robin because Batman is so impressed because he steals the wheels off of the Batmobile while Batman is fighting crime. And that's an impressive kid. Also, the way Batman recruits his Robins, it's someone who could become a problem given the culture and world of Gotham. Someone so talented, so young, who could steal the wheels off of a Batmobile could quickly become the Joker's number 2 or the Riddler's right-hand man, etc. So he takes him under his wing. He's an orphan. He lets the thing for orphans, etc. Fast forward, it depends. We don't know which way they're going to go with this. There's a bunch of different ways. In the comic, Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, depends on how you want to say his name, hires the Joker to distract Batman while he's pulling off another thing to destroy Gotham City, which is Ra's or Ra's lifelong goal to reset the balance, etc.
Mhm.
Joker goes too far because you can't hire a chaos agent. It's like saying, hey, let me, explode this volcano so I can get these people to move out of the way. Sure, but the volcano may not stop on your schedule.
Sure.
Right? And Joker being a force of nature type of chaos agent, he goes too far. Robin goes off to stop him on his own instead of sticking together. He kills Robin. In the comics, Robin is revived by Ra's al Ghul using the lava. What do you call those?
Lazarus pit. Lazarus is the
biblical person who was brought back from the dead by Jesus, or the leper who was healed, I believe.
Oh,
so it's like that same theme, that same idea. But however, if you put someone who is already dead into the Lazarus pit, they come back changed, and that's what happened to Robin.
Right.
After he goes to his wacky thing, he gets his brain back to wherever he can. He's got a lot of hatred for Batman. He becomes the Red Hood to show Batman how Gotham should be run. It shouldn't be run with guns. It should be done with actual decisions, endings to things. Joker shouldn't be a returning spinning wheel to just murder thousands of people every so often. So it seems that they're going down that route. They got a lot of imagery there. That's one thing I'm really excited about. The second thing, it seems that we're getting a Bruce Wayne in retirement, which is why I forget the actor's name, but which is why I feel it was really good that they have that actor in as Bruce Wayne. Do you remember his name?
No.
The British guy, but he was Yoren. What was he?
I don't know.
Oh, he was from Game of Thrones. He was the Jorah the Andal.
Peter Dinklage.
No, he's not Peter Dinklage. He was Jorah the Andal.
Oh,
you don't know the guy? He was the guy who was banished from
I don't fucking know his name.
He was banished from Westeros for slaving.
Yeah, I know. I don't know his name.
You're bullshitting. You don't know any. When did you check out? Like, whenever you start shifting, like you didn't wipe good, is when I think you checked out, and you're not listening to me.
No, I don't know the actor's name. I don't know any of the actors' names on Game of Thrones except for Peter Dinklage and Bean, Sean Bean, right?
I don't know.
Right.
I'm glad that they got this guy, Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry, I'm going on because I got excited. I saw it like, I don't know, half an hour ago or an hour ago. I was like, dude, we need to watch this because I really, really love Titans. I know
it was good.
Didn't like parts of it. It could feel long-winded. The way I look at it is I was never interested in the Titans ever. And they found a way to get me to watch it and they'd be interested. And I cringe when Dick Grayson just beats down on people. And you hear like that one scene when when he melts the Robin costume, and it's kind of like the apotheosis of Nightwing, if you will, or Robin, I guess, his retransformation, if you will. And he melts down his suit outside of the crazy insane asylum.
Yeah.
Right before that scene, everybody displays their powers, and he never displays his powers or how he is special to the group. And then in the ending of that show, in that scene, there's a bunch of guys that they got to fight their way through, and it's all gas pipes. So Starfire can't use her power because it'll blow up everything. He's like, I got this. And he's like been drugged. He's beaten. He's holding his arm. He kicks this pipe. He's like, picks up the pipe, and then he just walks down, and then you hear ping, 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 like it's like a batting cage,
like pinball machine.
But I love that. They got me actually that interested and hyped about Titans.
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy. So anyways, the second thing I'm excited about, Bruce Wayne looks like he's going to be following a retiring Batman story, which allows us to stay focused on Titans and keeps the trolls from saying Batman didn't look the right way, because that's one thing I get.
Oh yeah, he's too old. He's not. He doesn't put on the suit in this show.
Only in Dick Grayson's fantasies or night sweat dreams, etc. The third thing I'm excited about is, again, in that little montage after they tease you with the Red Hood and then they go into the different characters and the different aspects of the show, you go through this flash of, I have no idea which way we're going. I see Starfire in her costume. I thought that was cool. Yeah. I see Dick Grayson as a Nightwing costume. He's back in Gotham City. That's pretty fucking awesome. I see Barbara Gordon as Commissioner fucking Barbara Gordon. That's fucking awesome. Okay. I'm excited about that because that's not restrictive. We can go anywhere we want with the story. We can go Dark Knight we want with the story. We can go, there's room. you know? And I like that about this series. It didn't seem restricted to what's been done before or kind of formulaic in some ways that the Marvel can seem at times. So that's end rant.
Right. I will say that the Superboy episode of Titans was really good. That's the one episode that really stuck out. Like that's like it's a whole movie on its own, really. Like it's like an hour movie about Superboy. You don't even you can even watch that without watching any other episodes. I feel like isn't it like self-contained, that episode? I feel like it.
That's what I like about the writings or the storytelling style of Titans. It's a little bit like a vignette. It is episodic. You know, I mean, if you don't know who Deathstroke is, you're going to be confused as to why he wants to kill them so bad.
Right.
So you need to know.
Right.
But it also is kind of beginning and ending to a degree with aspects of the story. This little snippet of the story, we're going to tie up for you here. You're not going to be left jonesing for another whole week to not get enough. You know, it's not going to be Son Goku charging for the next 40 minutes.
You know, I watched that show with Mrs. Cheapy, so she was down with Titans too. Yeah. I don't watch anything without her. I don't watch anything. We only watch shows together. I really don't watch any shows without Mrs. Cheapy.
You know what that's called in Japanese?
Lame.
No.
Super lame.
Nakayoshi koyoshi.
What's that mean? No, it's just I don't know. I don't really. That's my TV time. Is like when 9:30 to 10 to 11.
It basically just means like a close couple, like you're very close together.
We are. That is true. So Mrs. Cheapy's going out for dinner without me tonight.
Is she going to spin?
No.
How does it feel, motherfucker? How does it feel?
No. I had some awesome diving shots at Spin.
Did you take any video? Can you please?
They don't have replays there. They have replays at Ping Pong.
I'm going to send you
awesome.
a stand. I'm going to send you a stand and an intern, like a cell phone stand. I'm going to have them just like catch those diving shots because I wanted for my stinger. On
oh my god!
Modulation.
It would have you would have loved it. There was one point where I had to dive in one direction and then I came back and had to do a super dive to the other one, and my coach JP as I was diving through the air. He just started walking away from the table, dying laughing. And then I yelled at him. Because he turned away. And I started yelling at him like, you don't know that I'm not going to put that back on the table? It's like, you can't, why you look away? I fucking dove for that. You got to look at least to make sure if it's going to go on the table or not. And he was just like, anyway.
You're like, I just have like visions of you diving like low key in like 1/16th time.
It's nothing I do is low key when you're this.
No,
lanky.
like Loki, like Loki.
Oh, Loki. Yeah. I'm
How
long.
did we end up doing a show together? Because obviously we got nothing.
What language are you speaking?
I think this is German, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time.
Yes.
I want to a couple things I want to get to.
Yes.
I want to say quickly.
Yes.
Well, you tell me. We only got 15 minutes left or less.
Quicker.
Should we go to Proper Mod Pod News? Should we go to recommendations of what to watch?
Proper Mod Pod News. Do it.
Okay. Do I have like a news sound effect? I want typewriters or a news like the tape machines. Go.
Oh yeah, I got it. Hold on.
Knock knock. Guess who's coming to dinner? Knock knock.
That's all I got. Sorry. Those are my samples that I'm getting ready for my Fortnite Major Laser crossover. You like that? That's all I got. Oh wait, hold on. I got one more. Thank you. That's it. I got to add some more in there. It's a lot of work to being stupid. Doing stupid shit. I'm like opening up audio software, like editing samples down so that I can load them into my sampler to play, so I can use them in a video game.
This is what I do. This is my life.
Right. I'm almost 50. Don't tell anybody.
I'm almost 30. It's like getting weird.
Right.
Okay.
Sure. Yes, news. Give me your news. Yeah,
thank you. That's a little bit more.
All right, hurry up. How long I gotta do it for?
Well, yell at me so I want to be in the news. Okay, so what did I put my news here?
Yes, to the bottom.
This is the bottom. Is that the news?
Keep scrolling.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Yes.
Do it again. For proper Mod Pod news in Jersey City, I'm Kurimanju. Juneteenth is a holiday today. Juneteenth, officially in Juneteenth National Independence Day and historically known as Jubilee Day, Black Independence Day, and Emancipation Day, is a federal holiday in the United States celebrating the emancipation of the African Americans who had been enslaved.
You just read a Wikipedia article. Oh no, it's new. It's an NBC News article.
Do you have any reaction to that, Cheapy?
I have to say that I didn't even know
it's a
that.
Podcast.
Yes, I didn't know that. I mean, like a lot, I didn't know that you were done reading. I didn't, like most white people, I did not know that Juneteenth was a thing until we watched. What was the show that had it in? Some show. Watchmen referenced it, right?
I believe Watchmen talked about Tulsa, but they might have also, because they jumped through time and stuff. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
It might have been an HBO property that mentioned it. I was hoping that you would be awkward and give me a good laugh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you're not alone, man. I think everybody was surprised to learn that we didn't know about Juneteenth. Yeah. And the holiday itself originated in Galveston, Texas in 1866. And it is basically to commemorate the slaves in Texas who found out that slavery had been abolished 2 years after it actually had been abolished and after the war had ended. Okay, so they were still slaves for 2 years later. Think about the people who were maimed, raped, murdered.
Just because the news didn't get to the news, they could suppress. They tried to suppress it for as long as possible for obvious reasons.
Listen,
they were successful.
I didn't let these people learn to read anyway, so how are they going to read the news? I'm just going to make sure they keep working for free. Mm-hmm. So that is something we should all celebrate, especially those of us who enjoy not just people who are Black or people who identify as such. You know, I see Rachel Dolezal. I mean, if she wants to celebrate Juneteenth, all right. But
wait, I have a super important question. How would like a white man like myself?
Are you white? I didn't know.
I know.
Every time I forget, and then somebody mentions it, I'm like, who said that?
Right.
I hear something in my head.
How would I celebrate Juneteenth?
How would you celebrate?
Yeah, like what would be appropriate way for me to celebrate Juneteenth?
See, but you don't like doing this. You got to educate people about different cultural things.
No, what should I do? Tell me what I should do.
The way you do it is you share this story with one other person who never heard of it before. That's how you celebrate.
Oh,
okay. You make sure they know. But you don't like teaching people about karaoke.
I thought you were
karaoke place.
I was sort of hoping you were going to say like you need to have a party.
You have to eat yakiniku.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
No, I mean, listen, my family's from Guyana in South America. So I don't have the same history that African Americans do with regards to slavery. So I don't know how African American families celebrate it.
So you're a South American American?
Yeah, I'm just a black guy.
Black guy.
I'm Kurimanju.
You're a generic black guy.
No, I'm very different.
Ungeneric. The opposite of generic. You're artisanal.
I'm often imitated, but never duplicated.
You are an artisanal black man.
Hey now, with artisanal pizzas. So that's one story I wanted to get.
Okay.
Next on our news.
Yes.
Dawson's Creek screenwriter dies by suicide after a long bout with a long COVID-19.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Did you get a chance to look at that link? Don't worry about it. I'll tell you the summary.
I wasn't a Dawson's Creek person, so I sort of like zoned out. You were a Dawson's Creek person, or you just thought, no, okay. Go on.
It's a phenomenon of people who have long COVID. It's not talked about that much because we're still we were so stuck at the din of everybody dying. We weren't able to think about people suffering from the disease and not just dying, or not getting access to care. But the reason why it stood out to me is because I've seen this in NPR and AP News and different outlets over the last year and a half.
Yikes.
That people suffer from extreme depression with COVID. There are cases of people who have extreme depression or elements of dementia or psychosis as a result of COVID-19.
Right.
And I've been monitoring it because you know what? This is like the thing I've been afraid of for most of my adult life, and it happened. So I need to watch it.
You mean a disease that can spread that can make you sick forever?
Airborne pandemic that works better than the flu and no resistance. Yep. That was my perfect. That or an actual xenomorph in my house is my two freaked out things. And the reason why she committed suicide, she had COVID that persisted, I think it was more than a year.
Yeah.
And she experienced significant pain as part of her symptoms. And there are people, they just give up and get despair and etc. So I thought that it's sad. Suicide is something that is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But I thought that we should not ignore that there are some of us that are still suffering from the COVID-19 pandemic, although the vaccination program picks up speed and hopefully will prevent a huge, huge second wave in the fall.
Yay. Respect. All right, I got to go. That was a very depressing way to end the show, but I have to go pick up Ty.
Thank you for the transition. For Proper Mod Pod News in Jersey City, I'm Kurimanju, and that's news.
We should do just a straight news show one week. Just like prepare news articles, and we'll read copy and see if anybody notices.
I'll wear a suit.
I'm not doing that. All right, guys, I gotta go. I got things, people to do, and things
people
to see.
to do and places to eat.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.